Honorable Chairperson, the subject of air pollution and climate change is very broad based. It has a gamut of issues. The Paris Accord has already been talked about in this House. I think it is a matter of regret that the world's largest polluter, that is the United States of America, under the leadership of its President Mr. Donald Trump, has decided to walk out of the Paris Agreement. It has been endorsed unequivocally by our Prime Minister and our government, cutting across party lines. It was done by the UPA and has now been redoubled by the NDA. It is a matter of salutation to our government that we have adhered to the Paris Accord, but it is a matter of great shame that the United States, which is the greatest polluter on this planet, has chosen to walk out of it without giving any reason. And a great legacy set by the former Vice President, Mr. Gore, who is one of the world's foremost environmentalists, has now been given a go-by too. Mr. Speaker, sir, those are unfortunately the issues on which we have no control over here. Therefore, I do not want to dilate on them here. I would rather localize our issue which has affected all of us present here, and which is why you decided that this debate must take place immediately. I completely agree with Mr. Tiwari when he says that the farmers, especially the farmers of Punjab, UP and Haryana, have been vilified completely and needlessly. Yes, stubble burning is a problem and it is a contributor to pollution. But I want to say on the floor of this house that it is not a major problem and not a major contributor. Let us look at some dates. Stubble burning started between 8th and 10th of October this year in western UP, Punjab and Haryana. Diwali was on 27th of October. All of a sudden, on the night of 27th and in the morning of 28th, the air quality took an alarming dip in Delhi and the surrounding areas. Stubble burning had been happening for 2 weeks before that. Therefore, do not say that stubble burning is the primary issue. It is a contributor but not a primary issue. This morning I had the occasion to meet the Honorable Prime Minister. He has taken a salutary step in the direction of Swachh Bharat. There is no question about it. Everybody across party lines accepts it. That has been one of the successes of this government. According to me, his mission to eradicate single plastic use is again going to be a game changer. I requested him that he has to take this issue of curbing pollution, eradicating pollution in his hands, because without his leadership, without his coordination, without him being able to show the trailblazing path that he is capable of, I do not think there is going to be a solution. The simple solution for stubble burning is that you have to give some subsidy to the farmers from the central kitty, not from the states, because the states have no money. It is a matter of fact. But from the central kitty, you can easily give the subsidy to the farmers to cultivate alternate crops like maize, pulses, etc. I heard Srimati Diya Kumari's speech earlier for a raise in the support price of pulses. If you do that, the farmers will shift to it. It is a matter of simple economics for the farmers. The farmers will go where they can make both ends meet. They will shift somewhere else, or you give the farmers the opportunity to use the stubble in biogas, paper manufacturing, electricity, cardboard manufacturing, etc. For that, the government has to take the initiative to set up these plants. The farmers cannot set up these plants on their own. The government should be able to give support to the farmers by putting up these alternative mechanisms so that stubble burning stops in and around Delhi. I have seen the Dubai fireworks on the 31st of December. It is spectacular fireworks. For 10 minutes, the sky is completely set ablaze with fireworks at midnight. There is no pollution. Why is there no pollution? It is because they use fireworks which are of extraordinary standard. Our problem in India is that the fireworks that are manufactured here are unfortunately of very poor quality, as cost cutting is involved. You are cutting costs, but you are going to blame the burning of crackers. Of course, cheap crackers from China are unfortunately being smuggled in, which have a very high percentage of sulfur content. So there is a serious problem. I believe that there should be self-restraint when the Supreme Court has laid down certain parameters and guidelines for bursting of crackers. I believe that it should be accepted by us and we should restrain ourselves. Unfortunately, there has not been any self-restraint. I have serious concern about that. Shall we go the China route? Mr. Tiwari talked about China. China has taken some extraordinary steps in cleaning up its air, and that is why it has succeeded. It has prohibited new coal-fueled power plants in the polluted regions of the country, particularly close to cities. Its existing plants have been told to reduce emissions and coal has been banned. They have been told to substitute it by natural gas. In large number of cities, the number of cars has been restricted very strictly. Here in Delhi and in surrounding areas, Uber and Ola have added 65% additional burden to our roads. Therefore, nobody is looking at the kind of influx of cars that have moved into the NCR region all of a sudden, which is creating this massive pollution in the last 5 to 6 years. So, instead of blaming farmers, we should blame ourselves that we no longer want to travel by metro or buses. Everybody wants to travel in Ola and Uber and quickly reach their destinations. Do you know what China has done? Last year, China completely banned winter heating in homes, although there was severe winter with sub-zero temperature. There was no coal-fired heating at home. People had to suffer, but they are willing to suffer for the sake of their environment. They have cut down their coal foundries. They have cut down their iron ore and steel manufacturing. They are happy to import from India. The Indian exporters are actually benefiting now because of this boom, as China has become a big importer. They are cleaning their air while we are fouling our air. Therefore, you have to take some interim steps, and these interim steps also involve some loss of profit, some privation for our entrepreneurs. But it has to be done and we have to bite the bullet. I must also remind this house that the Great Smog of London in 1952 took toll of 12,000 deaths. Can you imagine this? London's air was so foul that 12,000 people died there. They also had to bite the bullet. They took harsh steps and they managed to clean up their air. I would request the Prime Minister that the central government has to take the first step. This must not happen everywhere. This year, the German Chancellor was here on one of the most polluted days. There was a reception in the embassy where I was speaking with the ambassador, and they were actually at pains to figure out how to get the Chancellor out of here as soon as possible. Every doctor you go to for respiratory diseases says that there is only one solution: leave Delhi. If leave Delhi is going to be the one panacea or one solution for our problems, that is a very sorry state of affairs. Mr. Speaker, sir, there is a very old American native proverb which says, when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish caught, the last river poisoned, only then will we realize that one cannot eat money. I have been criticized on Twitter today that I have to lead this debate in this house, and I appear for the redevelopment of colonies in Delhi, for which trees have to be cut down. I have to say that sustainable development is the only way forward. For every tree that is cut down, you have to plant 100 trees or 200 trees. That is the way forward. The way forward is not to leave 25,000 or 30,000 government employees without accommodation. They are serving this nation. Therefore, the defense I have to offer is that this is necessary and that is also necessary. Yes, it is true that we cannot eat money. Profit is not everything, but this is not about profit. This is about sustainable development. If sustainable development is going to be the way forward, then we all have to work together to understand that this pollution is actually costing us almost $10.6 billion a year. Can you imagine? Rupees 70,000 crore is what India is losing every year on account of pollution. This is a moderate study report. Our economic output could actually go down by as much as 2% because of pollution reasons. This is affecting the whole of North India, which is one of the productive basins of India. Therefore, we have to also see that if 7 out of 10 cities in the world or 22 out of the worst 30 cities of the world are going to be the Indian cities, then surely productivity is going to go down.